Hello and welcome back to the Forged Alliance for Retards community, bringing you a special 2v2v2 game set on a map which, for the life of me, I can't actually remember. You see at the top here we've got our first selection. We're going to call these guys up here Team 1, at the bottom left Team 2, and at the bottom right Team 3. So again, we'll start meeting some of the players. So at the top left here in UEF Blue, going first line and setting up some power generators, queuing up some of those, actually queuing up quite a lot of land factories it would seem pretty early, is Jig NK, bringing out his first engineer, and his partner in crime over here in going his usual purple is Jig Beans, setting up his first land factory and 2 power generators, quite wisely putting down his 4 mass extractors straight away. At the bottom left, going lime green, we have I set Arteezy on fire. I'm told this is something to do with Dota, although I have absolutely no idea who or what he is. Arteezy decided to go first land and queuing up a hell of a lot of power generators and spreading out his mexes all over the place. And his partner down here, we have I pay Dola or Dota for $6 an hour. I can never see, because when I play on the television, I can't actually see the resolution. Quite wisely again, building his land factory, queuing up a second land factory, getting his mexes all sorted, running over only on 2 P-gens at the moment, deciding that his hydrocarbon's probably going to be going to Arteezy. And the last but not least, we have Team 3, the Corporation. I'm not really sure what colour that is. I think it's like a greeny kind of colour. Going UEF as well. Queuing up his usual set of P-gens and mass extractors. And right at the bottom here, going in Pontiff White, is Jig Naskamu. Or Nask for short, because I can't be bothered to pronounce the entire name. Starting with triple land factory and going several mass extractors and so forth. We look at the map on the whole here, we can see sort of the first action happening at the top left and at the bottom here. It looks as if Nast actually made some pretty good progress, putting out quite a few mech marines and sort of halting this expansion of, I think it is, we'll call him Dola. At the top left here, are we seeing any more progress made by NK's mech marines? Nothing actually down on the ground yet for Arteezy, but he is, from what I can see, making a very early upgrade on a Tech 1 land factory 3 minutes into the game. Looks as if Arteezy wants to go tech rather than anything else. He hasn't really afforded himself much luxury in terms of defences. I think with this commander in the centre of his base, I don't think it's going to really matter at this moment in time. Also seeing here some conflict, common action going on at the bottom right here between Corporation and Beans. Beans having to back off his Corporation getting that Tech 1 point defense up pretty early. Beans luckily has radar coverage now, probably affording quite a bit of intel. We have a look at Beans is, yeah, so it's letting him see the majority of Corp's base. So ping going down there from either NK or Beans on whatever this is in the middle. Looks like Lang Factory, point defense, a couple of Lobos defending. Neither team really seizing any sort of initiative. Surprisingly, Team 2 not really interested in the middle at all. Surprisingly, Nask not supporting the Corporation going into the centre either. It looks like Corp's just wanting the whole centre for himself. NK homing in with a few Lobos of his own. And unfortunately, because the Lobo fire is sort of concentrated on units that are moving, oh, for those Lobos, no, one of them going to go down. Corp seeing it just in time. Unfortunately, this Mantis is not going to be able to make much of an impression because of this plasma cannon at the bottom here. sort of having a stalemate at the bottom here between Striker Tola and Nask, and sort of knock on a +2 here to some of these units moving. We have a Jester coming in to try and see if he can get rid of that Tech 1. Not many of the players deciding to go. Actually, I say that, I tell a lie. It's only Corporation at the moment who seems that he wants to get involved in the naval game. Only the first air unit out is that Jester, but we do have finally an attack here of Mantis, and we do see some hoplites in the mix as well. NK extremely thin on the ground at the moment. Is only really supporting with a few Lobos and Meg Marines. Doesn't really have anything. Oh, he's spamming up some plasma cannons, but really with artillery in the mix, if he decides to get some out, which he has, he's got Medusas out, so an early push here could really see a lot of damage done to Team 1. Does look as if Beans on this side as well is wanting to try and push Corporation back into his base, but it doesn't look as if he's going to do it with 2 triads. A third one going up now. It looks like Corporation's digging in for the long run. And the skirmish continues down here between Team 2 and 3. I'm afraid those Mech Marines are not going to stand up to the test of time against a huge amount of Lobos. Although the direct fire unit is going to win the end, it's going to need a lot of micromanagement to bring him around Lobos, but Dola is doing that, and if I haven't seen it, he has got Strikers in the mix, so Nask is going to have to back off and bring in some reinforcements. More direct fire units are going to be needed if he's going to break through Dola's front lines. And it does look as if Arteezy is now pushed up right into the middle. The hoplites are absolutely wrecking the front lines. Beans has been brought in as the only air cover in the game here. No anti-air to be seen. And we look at the economies of all players, starting with Team 1 at the top here. Huge mass problems for NK. With Beans even further down. In terms of Team 2, looks as if they're suffering from the same thing, but copious amounts more power seems to be being stored by Arteezy. Dola actually managing to balance his economy fairly well. And in Team 3 at the moment, Corporation, again, seemingly got quite a copious amount of mass coming in. Not as much energy as Arteezy, but it does look like he sat quite comfortably. And last but certainly not least, in terms of Nask's economy, pretty much the same, nowhere near the mass though that his teammate is currently bringing in. It seems at the moment we're sort of seeing 3 or so stalemates, one on the left-hand side of the map here. Beat's not really making much of an impression on Corp at this moment in time, and it does look as if that is a... I have to always look at the back of these ships to figure it out. Now that is a destroyer, not a cruiser, so looking as if Corporation looking to get some direct fire, especially as the coastline is so near to the bases in this. He's looking to get an upgrade on his commander at the moment. That's the right arm, so I think that's the Tech 2 upgrade he's looking to get. It probably would have been good earlier had Beans decided to get the Tech 2 upgrade on his commander and get some direct Cerberus fire down on this little fire base down here. And it looks as if 2 armies are sort of preparing here. We've got NK's blue UEF army. The thing is, I don't think NK has yet to transition up to Tech 2. He's got some Tech 2 power going up, but you have to excuse me, I'm actually sort of fighting the cold at the moment. A few Lobos being marched to their deaths. I think if Arteezy were to still push, he still would have, it would seem, the advantage, especially with that amount of hoplites. And Medusa's taking out this little T1 fire base down here. Surprisingly, Nask deciding that he's not going to engage. He does have a few mongoose out on the field. I can't really be said that Dola's putting up much point defense. He's decided to transition into Navy and see if he can bombard from the coast. So to speed things up a bit here, sort of getting into a bit of a low, slow point of the game. That's Tech 2 upgrade. He is now putting up Cerberus turrets, but I'm not really sure why Beans is being so cautious. Ah, no, there is a clink hammer that is only just gone up. And those full mongoose, if we slow it down a bit again, causing mayhem for Dola. He's put a lot of his economy into this navy. I'm not really sure why he's putting out subs. If you just put down a sonar, you'd see that Nask has really avoided that entirely. And what Nask has done is he's built himself some interceptors. Finally, the ping has gone down. That destroyer is seen as a threat. Some scout units coming out from Beans to see what on earth is firing at him. Corporation getting a upgrade on his commander. That is again the left arm. So I don't know. That's going to be him wanting to put down some Ravagers. Probably be best actually, because it doesn't look as if Beans has really anything, and with those awful cyber and shields, he's not going to be able to defend himself at this point. We are looking sort of 12 minutes into the game. No players really shown their hand yet as to whether or not they're going to be pushing. An assistance marker being put down. I don't know whether that's going to be from Corp or from Beans. I think it probably would have been from Beans, as that clink hammer is denting his front lines at the moment. Not a great deal has been seen. Arteezy still buffering this small Tech 2 army here. If only he knew. I mean, what can Arteezy see at the moment? I mean, he can see a striker, but I mean, one scout plane would reveal that all of this here was irrelevant compared to the Tech 2 army that he's got down here. Finally seeing some artillery fire. Clink hammers Naska's got of his own. Really is a lot of UEF playing this game. Just a couple of cyber players, and now we're seeing Corp pulling out some governors and starting to bombard the front lines. If only Beans had popped up some Cerberus turrets. Has he gone to Tech 3 yet? It doesn't look as if he has. Oh, there goes one factory. He does have a factory transitioning to Tech 2 at the moment. And we are seeing a mirror of what is happening here on the east coast, on the south coast, with another governor coming out. And it does look as if Beans is in quite a bit of trouble here. 2 destroyers wrecking. He's trying to put some Gunthers up, but it's not going to have any effect with such a direct fire unit. We're seeing a Stinger coming up, but that's not going to do anything against a governor with the ferocious amount of anti-air that's able to push out. And oh, we are seeing a Fatboy under development, an assistance. Sorry, a movement ping going down on that. But I don't know whether the investment in the Fatboy is going to pay off, especially if Arteezy decides that he's going to push up on this quite weak Tech 1 base that he has here. One of the ships being sunk, I'm not really sure by what. We're going to slow this back down to +1. It looks as if Nask is in quite a bit of trouble actually. He's got these 2 governors, which, if I'm honest, I'm not really sure whether Nask is able to make an impression on. If we look at the artillery range that he's got there, where is his artillery? Well, they are able to reach, but the problem is that his radar can't actually see these 2 governor class warships. And actually, I take back what I said about Dola's strategy here. What he's able to do with these subs, with the impression he's making on Nask, he'll be able then to sort of filter these subs around to make sure that Team 3's navy is completely destroyed. At first, Tech 3's out for NK, now pushing at Percival's, which might give him a bit more of a hand in this stalemate, which is just sitting here. But that being said, Tech 3, we got bricks out, incredible amount of hoplites, looking in the range of 40 hoplites, anti-air, which I don't think is going to be needed, 16 odd rhinos as well. And Nask finally pushing this naval incursion back. The cruisers aren't going to be able to really have any bearing on that naval battle at all. He should have got some destroyers out, or at least surface these subs for the direct fire. Does look as if Corp and Nask have a pretty firm grip, but that Fatboy is slowly moving up into the middle. A couple of Percivals are flanking for the cover. Looks as if Bean's front line has been completely destroyed by that navy. And has that Fatboy been seen by the corporation yet? He would see the fire coming in for his fire base in the middle. I don't think, though, he's able to figure out which unit it is, given the amount of Tech 1 units that are currently surrounding it. And that Fatboy has finally started primering this little fire base down here. It does look as if Corp is figured that the only way he's going to be able to beat it is building a Fatboy of his own. He does have a battle cruiser online, which is taking a hell of a beating, actually. And the bottom here as well, it does look still as if these Tech 2 amphibious tanks still have not had an answer for. And those Mantis now being brought in to, I would assume, just sort of uncover what the Fatboy needs to target. That battle cruiser raining absolute hell down on them. You see, the Fatboy has been left there. He still hasn't targeted these Ravagers, which are probably the main threat. Although the Fatboy can outrange the Ravagers. Arteezy still not really bringing anything out apart from bricks. Arteezy really does need to either attack NK or bring his forces around to attack Nask. If we bring it back up to +1 again. That Fatboy causing... I don't think the Fatboy really is hitting what he should be, though. It should be finally prioritising this fire base down here. Percival's being brought around now for this middle fire base. There's pretty much nothing left of it. And Nask chasing down Dola's army. What is Dola producing down here? He's got this incredible amount of Lobo and Pillar infantry just sort of down here waiting. NK bringing around some Stingers taking out by the... And we do see, if I slow it down, a tactical missile launch. What is that going for? Oh, it does look like it's a comp snipe, but is it enough? No! So close! Corporation surviving within an inch, just nearly missed that snipe, nearly there from Beans, and he's produced a Monkey Lord. Is any other team, a Team 2, producing anything? If I think Arteezy's entire army were to counter that Monkey Lord, but it does look as if NK still with really nothing actually in terms of this little area here. Another set of attack missiles. What is that going for? Looks as if that's where Nask was. Fatboy's still bombarding the middle. And it looks as if I slow this down to -1, Beans is just sending volleys of TAC missiles all over the map. The ping has gone down on the Fatboy. Now this is going to be interesting to see which one of these Fatboys comes out on top. There's quite a lot to focus on here, so I'm going to have to go to split screen and follow the Spider and this Fatboy battle. That Spider not going to survive, unfortunately.
Hey, wake up.
And it does look as if it is going to go down, although the majority of Arteezy's forces has been wiped out. And these Fatboys here does look as if NK's is going to survive, but are those last volleys going to kill it? It does look as if both experimentals have been taken out. And we are faced with the stalemate, but something I have missed. These Percivals have just marched into Nask's base from NK, deciding to surpass Dola entirely. And it looks as if Nask is in a lot of trouble here. He's trying to put up an Atlantis to stop these cruisers. And Corp deciding that he is going to push up his navy now, seeing absolutely no threat from Nask at the bottom. From Dola even. And we do have yet another Fatboy out. We do see Beans trying to put this secondary Spider, but is it being spotted? A lot of the cruiser fire hitting the power, which is going to cause some area damage. Luckily the Spider's been too far away. Some Corsairs, I think, are going to try and sort out the naval issue, but with that many cruisers I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. We knock it back up to +2 again. And those Percivals have made a long way into Nask's base. Nask having to retreat back into Corp's southern perimeter. Just a few engineers, but those Percivals are attacking and pursuing Nask. As Nask's seen it, he's going to be, the ping has gone down on him, but the range of those Percivals is absolutely massive. Is he going to manage to Corp bringing his own Percivals in? And that is game, set, and match for Nask. He's not going to escape that. Corp deciding, I think it was a Control K. And it seems that Team 3 are out of the mix entirely now. Interestingly, Arteezy not deciding that he's going to harvest the mass. He could get a monkey up of his own. He is finally now with a Tech 1 engineer. He probably needs a few more engineers on that, especially with the urgency of this Fatboy coming in. And Dola finally having the flexibility to move into the bottom right hand corner, but I'm not really sure that's where he should be heading in all of those troops. And we are seeing a barrage of these tactical missiles. Wisely, we do have zappers up and we do have some shielding from Arteezy, but that Fatboy is just going to rain hell down on all of those troops. That is not a place you want to sit there. These Mantis aren't worth your time, Arteezy. You need to push up. And NK finally moving in with the remainder of Percivals, the mesh of Tech 1 and 2 units. I think Dola finally seeing that he needs to split off some of his troops to deal with this problem. We got another Fatboy out. The Spider that finally was in production. But Dola moving up a lot of his cruiser fire, and I'm not really seeing a lot of anti-naval. He hasn't put up any. Is it buzzers? I can't remember the name of the. Oh, Zachners, sorry. Finally, Arteezy getting up a Spider of his own. Titans moving in. Dola finally assisting, but with mech marines it's not going to do anything. Beans' Spider moving across now to counter the land incursion, and a Fatboy, NK second Fatboy being brought across here to deflect these naval units away from Beans' coast. That Spider though is now moving up. The Fatboy's going to have to be brought back, which it is. a few triads, but that spider is going to do a lot of damage to MK's front lines with bricks to support. He does need to pursue that Fatboy though, otherwise that's going to cause him no end of issues. I don't know whether Arteezy's hoping for some veterancy at the moment. Dola sort of flanking up both sides with his navy. That Fatboy now completely out of range for NK. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how far he's going to bring it out, he's not going to be able to outrange those cruisers. And that spider's just sitting there, Arteezy. You need to move it, especially with another one coming down on your base. That spider is not going to survive the test of time, especially if it's not moving. Down it goes. Dola really needs to bring us some sort of tech here. He's got a lot of... He has got one tech through land bank group, but that's just not going to be enough. Beats his spider. Moving up to kill off this sort of group of units here. Fatboy being brought back down. But it does look as if Team 2 are in a pretty dire position at the moment. The ping going down, moving Beans' monkey to kill Arteezy's. That monkey just cannot sit there and the Fatboy fire. And it does look as if Arteezy is fresh out of luck. The dual beam of those two monkeys, it does look as if Beans is going to come out on top. Dola ringing around these cruisers, and it's a bit of a shame actually, because I think all of that cruiser fire could make quite a difference in this game, seeing as the Fatboy can't reach at all. But that monkey now being brought down to Dola's base, and I don't know whether has he seen it. He sure would have seen it by now, but his commander is in the middle of an upgrade, I believe. It's too late for cancelling it. Dola and that monkey are out of the game. The first casualty for Team 2. And Arteezy is now alone. He's bringing his commander out. I think he can sense what's coming. We push it back up to Team 2. That Fatboy and another monkey coming out from Beams. Fatboy as well. All of that cruiser fire at the top here, which is rooting around, stopped just taking away the top mast point from NK. And I'm afraid that does look like it's a good game. Putting up to +3. Arteezy playing hide and seek with his commander. I think we're going to have to probably bring this up to something like +10. And the search for the end of this replay begins. I think, have they spotted? It doesn't look as if they have. The Sting is being brought away on the perimeter of the maps. It doesn't look as if they've spotted him yet. We look on the perception of... No, not yet. Oh, we've had it pinged up there. It does look as if it's happened. And some ground units being brought in now. And I think that is goodbye to Arteezy and Team 2, and that is game over at minute 36. Team 1 being the victors. That was a good game and well played by all three teams. AK and Beans just about managing to claim the victory.